Oh, you into fitness? Well, step right this way. Alright guys, so today we'll be taking a look at High Performance Nutrition's latest product, Prozero, Performance Longevity Protein. They finally made the jump and decided to get into protein supplementation. In their own words, this is how they describe the product. Prozero is an ultra premium grade, non-animal source protein that is made to be used by elite athletes, health-focused individuals, and everyone in between. There are no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners in Prozero. We all need protein, but we don't need the junk that often comes along with it. Prozero gives you everything you do need while leaving out everything you don't. So in typical review fashion, we're going to take a look at the macros and everything you find on the supplementation label. Also going to take a look at taste and mixability, and I'm just going to give my overall thoughts on the product. So let's get started. Okay, so with Prozero you're going to get 100 calories per serving, and with that comes 20 grams of protein per serving, 2 grams of carbs, 1 of which is dietary fiber, and 1 gram of fat. And that's pretty typical as far as a scoop of protein goes, I guess. I'm used to normally seeing about 25 grams of protein per scoop. But then again, I'm also used to seeing a little bit more in the way of carbs and fat. But what isn't typical about the supplementation facts label is that when you read the back of it, it looks like a multivitamin. It's got vitamin A, vitamin C, D3, E, K, and a bunch of B vitamins. And this is great. I mean, well, the idea of combining a protein powder with the multivitamin, that's, a nice added benefit. And they really got ahead by only putting 30% of the daily value of all these vitamins in there because they knew most of their consumers would probably be taking more than 1 scoop of this. But, in all honesty, they probably could have just went ahead and gave us 100% because the daily value, that's just like the threshold at which you would be becoming deficient of the vitamin, but whatever, I like that. I like the idea of combining these two types of supplementation, giving you a protein powder and then just mixing in the multivitamin aspect so that you can get more out of each scoop. But, and this is a big but, a lot of these vitamins that they use aren't from natural sources, so they're not going to be recognized by your body as food, and ultimately they're just going to end up in your piss, right? So I talked about this before when it comes to multivitamin selection, is that you want vitamins that are protein bonded, right? And the tell I use is by usually looking at the vitamin C and at vitamin E. So if they have ascorbic acid for vitamin C, that's just one component of the vitamin C complex, right? So that's one tell. And also for vitamin E, you'll usually see for the synthetic version, you'll see DL, alpha, toco. It's like some long word that starts with a T. But for the natural version, you'll see D by itself, then alpha in that same long word. And, so in similar fashion, if you get the synthetic version, your body doesn't really recognize it and you're not absorbing it nearly as much. But, I like what they're thinking. I like how like I said, they're thinking about combining these two types of supplementation, but I would be a lot more excited if they, decided to use it and get them from natural sources so that our body would get more of it. But, not to get too sidetracked, from a protein supplementation standpoint, which is probably why you're buying the product in the first place, it's definitely getting the job done. 20 grams of protein, hardly any fat at all. You're definitely be able to use this to help hit your macro goals for the day. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about taste mixability, right? So this was honestly the aspect that I thought I was going to be disappointed in. Because the first time HPN sent me out something, they sent me out their product, it's a pre-workout P3. And the flavor they sent me, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And so I'm talking to the guy, I'm like, oh, you should try this flavor or this flavor. And then the rep reminded me that, oh, we don't use any artificial flavoring. And so when I took that into consideration, it kind of made me think, well, they did a pretty good job considering that. But that wasn't the case at all with this natural whipped vanilla. This definitely holds its own against any other, vanilla flavored protein powder that I've tasted in the past. And as far as mixability goes, it blends thoroughly. I can't see anybody have any complaints about there being clumping or just not mixing all the way through. So thumbs up on the taste. They did a great job with that. Alright guys, so overall I think this is a great product as far as protein supplementation is concerned. It's got the typical macros for a scoop of protein powder. It tastes great. It's vegetarian friendly if that's something that's concerning you, but you're not getting shortchanged on stuff like leucine that you would normally get shortchanged on if you were using plant-based proteins, so it skips all that. The only knock I had against it was the the multivitamin aspects, and who knows, if they would have used natural sources for their vitamins, that might have affected the taste, and maybe they would have had to resort to using artificial flavoring. I really don't know how that all works, but I'll leave contact information for HPN and the rep that I know, Tyler T-Flex, in the description box below, and y'all can hit him up and tell him I sent you. Tell him that if you'll do something about those vitamins, they'll be golden. And yeah, I'll also, if you want to try out the product, I'll leave a link to their product page below, and use the product code OUN2HPN for 12% off. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, guys. If there's any other products that I use that you'd like to see a review on, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to do that for you. But anyway, I'm Skullay, the YouTube fitness community's best kept secret. Shh.
Bitch, you wasn't with me lifting in the gym.